Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Welcome to September 2022, a month in which Venus, the ruler of your sign, is doing a lot of interesting things in the sky, including moving into a new sign and also loving up a few parts of the sky that is going to bring you some good news. Now, also, if you're new to my channel, I am Lori Lothian. I am a lunatic astrologer. I'm basically a Hellenistic whole sign astrologer using the tropical Western zodiac. I encourage you to check my free tutorial 5-minute video on how to cast your own chart in whole sign houses using astro.com software. Online, it's all free. And why? Because then you'll know what your rising sign is, which is always most accurate, but you can listen today for your sun and moon as well. Lastly, last pitch before I tell you about your amazing Venus ruled month. I want to tell you that I have a course I'm teaching in October. It's called Sky Reader. It's tagline, time, be your own astrologer, time your best life. I've taught it before. This is my second time. It's going to run 8 weeks live. And if you want to learn astrology from the ground up because you're a beginner and you really want to read your own chart and time your best life, please consider getting on my mailing list. I mean, my wait list, because when you do sign up on the wait list, and the link is in the box below, description box below, then you'll get early bird discounts. You'll get a notification when the doors open. And by the way, it'll fill up before it ever goes anywhere past the wait list. I already have 32 people on the wait list, and I'm not going to take any more than 40 something people for this class. So check it out, get on the wait list if you want to learn astrology. Alrighty, let's get going. So one of the things I want to say is that you Tauruses are under a lot of renovation, like huge energies are happening for you. Go back and watch my big boom video that is all about the end of August, July, beginning of August, Mars, Uranus, North Node conjunction. Very rare, happened like 2000 years ago. And now it happened to you. So especially Taurus rising with an ascendant near 18 degrees or sun and moon near 18 degrees Taurus. So it's a huge reinvention of self. You're going through this huge opening, and something is happening in the month of September before we get to the Venus narratives that kind of takes that a little bit further and activates this sense of a whole new you is trying to be born. There's going to be a new 15-year identity in the aftermath of this intensity. And one of those things is that, Saturn begins to square Uranus in the middle of the month, starting around the 15th to the end of the month. There's this long retrograde Saturn squaring Uranus retrograding. And this is happening with Uranus in the house of your identity. You're trying to break out of the mold, be free, be you. It's been a new you developing since 2018 with this transit of Uranus through the house of you. And at the same time, now that Saturn is going to square from the sign of Aquarius back again for a redo, and a redo because it's not new for you. If you go back to February, June, and then December of 2021, this Saturn kept squaring Uranus in the house of you. So you guys have been going through intense energies. There's no doubt about it. And the square from Saturn is in your career, purpose, ambition, success, reputation, status house, the 10th house. So a lot of you are trying to figure out really what it is you're here to do and what you want to be when you grow up. Saturn in the 10th is kind of heavy energy. If you've been working in the right career direction for years, it can bring you mastery, but otherwise he can be bringing you a closing out of a false direction. Oh my God, those birds are loud. And he will finish that story in your 10th house next March. But I want you to be aware that starting in September through to the end of October, you're feeling this deeper activation of this tension between who you are and what it is you're supposed to do and be in this world. Now, moving forward, I was teasing you with the Venus story that she's going to be loving you up, and she sure is. We're going to jump straight to some Venus narratives. Now, before we get to all the little Venus nigglies, let's talk about the fact that between the 5th of September and the 29th of September, she is traveling through Virgo. And this is important because she's your ruler, and when she goes somewhere, you must pay attention. Virgo, which is a sign of her fall. She's not most comfortable in that sign that belongs to Mercury, but Virgo is your 5th house of children, romance, independent business enterprise, like being an entrepreneur, your creativity. And when she goes through here, if you're an artist, this is great. Like, suddenly your guitar plucking skills upgrade, your excellent painting skills are better because she's very skills based when she's here. She wants you to be detail oriented. So for detail oriented artists, this is fabulous. But if you're not an artist type, then this is more like, oh, Venus is trying to work on some situations with your children to bring more harmony and to maybe working on a love story with that placement, right, Taurus? She might be going through your 5th house. She's kind of like a bit like the temple prostitute here, just FYI. Venus is exalted in Pisces, and she's like the nun. And here she's more like sacred sexuality, temple prostitute vibe here in Virgo. So you may be getting down with some very earthy sex with your partner during this transit if you have a love partner. If you have female children, this could be information going on and developments with your children that are significant during the transit of September 5th to the 29th. Well, she is going through this part of your sky. And last but not least, it's a money luck house. She's a money goddess. And yeah, play the lottery ticket. Why the hell not? September 5th to the 29th, you could have an unexpected financial windfall or a sense of being graced by some money luck. A little later, I'm jumping all over the timeline. You'll notice that because I want to get to the Venus stories, all right? But I want to talk about what she'll be doing on September 19th and the 20th, because your Lord, Venus, moving through Virgo, she'll be around 17 degrees of Virgo, will trine the god of unexpected and exciting and exhilarating change, Uranus, in the house of you at 17 degrees of Taurus. Again, rising sign, sun and moon are anywhere, let's say in the 10 to 27th degree of Taurus is very important for who you are. Venus will bring you a positive surprise that helps you feel excited by life. She can bring joy from the 5th house. This is the house of her joy. She wants to love you up here. She wants to, Venus in the house of her joy. It doesn't matter that she's in her detriment. And she's looking over at your ascendant or your sun and moon, and she's like sending bolts of goodness. So yeah, you could be jumping for joy because you won the lottery. You could be jumping for joy because you got a date with the person you were been looking to date, and they said yes. You could be jumping for joy because your child got accepted at the best university or got a triple A's on their report card. You could be jumping for joy because you are killing it in your independent business endeavors, and now you're so happy because Venus is lending a hand. So look for that luck stroke, that joy stroke, that really good energy of positive, surprising developments on the 19th and 20th of September. Just before that, going back in time, there is some more action in that house for you. And that's going to be when the sun moving through Virgo trines Uranus in your first house, September 11th and 12th. And they may be connected. The sun gets there first, wakes up some Uranian surprises September 11th and 12th, and then Venus closes the deal on September 19th and 20th. So those two areas of your sky may be strongly connected to each other. And the sun in the 5th is increasing your vitality, your enthusiasm, your joie de vivre, and Venus in the house of your joy is adding to that. So there's a lot of creativity, fun, play, pleasure, romance, and enjoyment of life that this is bringing you in September. I don't know if I mentioned that September 5th to the 11th, there are no major aspects in the sky. It's very quiet. So that's a lull for the world. There's a lull for you as well. Very beginning of the month, Mars will sextile Jupiter. And that's good for everyone. And this is a very positive feeling in your Gemini, Mars moving through Gemini, Jupiter in Aries part of your sky. So the Gemini quarter of your real estate, your sky real estate is your money house. Jupiter's trying to bring you some money, right? He's going to be there. He's been there since May of 2022, and will be there till next May, middle of May next year, 2023, minus some hiatus time, but we won't talk about that now. And so he's trying to improve and expand your finances, your earnings, and your money. And there's nothing wrong with, oh, sorry, Mars is trying to do that. Oh, I apologize. Sorry. Take it back. Take it back. Mars is in your second house of money and earnings. I apologize. From August the 20th until next March, and it's expanding your earnings, driving you forward. You're spending to make money. You're moving forward on your earnings front. You are like passionate and driven. You're increasing the directionality. You're making strong choices about money. Can you guys hear the birds? OMG. And I'm sorry, but Jupiter, I apologize, is in your 12th house. Now there is money in the 12th house. Okay. It's money you make from foreign land and trade and barter. It's money from PayPal and Stripe accounts, but Jupiter moving through your 12th house. Yeah. May of 2022 to 23 is about coming to terms with your deepest spiritual beliefs and connecting with what's really true for you, and maybe even finding yourself blessed with spiritual guides, teachers, and mentors during this time. So that's a longer story, and those birds. And I would say to you that I like the sextile between Mars and Jupiter happening because you may get some expert guidance, some help from somebody behind the scenes. Backroom deals are being cobbled together September 1st, 2nd, 3rd, on your behalf, in your favor financially. Also, Taurus, you will have at the same time, a little bit later, like the 3rd and 4th of September, a Mercury Jupiter opposition. This is 6th house Mercury, Jupiter in your 12th. This may be some colleague or coworker objecting your honor, some debt repayment program glitches legally, but I do think Mars has the upper hand, and ultimately the little niggle of Mercury, I object energy, as he's moving through Libra in the early degrees, 5 degrees of your natal 6th house, may come to a conclusion in your favor financially, regarding debt and regarding legal affairs. And it is that Mars forming a tip of both. It's basically a wedge that seems to have the strength to resolve this in your favor, as he's in a trine to Mercury. So money, work, and health things resolve in a positive manner for most Taurus people in the first week of September. Now, also, there's a full moon. I'm not doing every lunation. I mean, there's a new moon, full moon. I'm talking about the full moon in this video. It is happening on September the 10th. It's in Pisces at 17 degrees. It's conjunct Neptune and it's square Mars. So what does that mean for you? Well, first of all, I want you to know that your Pisces zone is a positive house of karmic rewards. It's your fairy godmother house. It's a good place. And in that part of your sky, you're getting a huge amount of energy during the full moon that shines the big light in the great gains from your career house, pennies from heaven, friends and allies to support you, your hopes, dreams, and wishes for the larger arc of your life. Okay, so your vision boarding place. Okay, so this full moon is shining a light of clarity, fruition, harvest here from things you planted and started last March 2nd, add 2 weeks when you had a new moon in Pisces. This is also conjunct Neptune, which is very magical, very dreamy. It is so important you get down with a vision board or dream into your best life or daydream what you want around the time of this full moon. And you planted the seeds in March anyway. You already have been getting these seeds ready. And the other thing is that there's a square from Mars sitting on warrior star archangel Michael as Aldebaran in your 2nd house of earnings. So there can be a feeling from this Mars square, the full moon, that you are having to eliminate and sever, cut a possession from your life in order to fulfill some of your dreams and goals. You may have to sell your home, your boat, your car, your sofa, because Mars can eliminate things as he moves through your 2nd house. You can eliminate foods you shouldn't eat. You can eliminate possessions you don't need. So you may sell something. It feels like it because it's a square to the 11th. And so you may feel like, oh, my hopes, dreams, and wishes, my big plans, my dreamy yay me, my great gains for my career. And all of a sudden you've got this tension from Mars. Yeah, but can we eliminate that thing we don't need? That's very possible. You know, you may also have some conflict financially, Mars in the 2nd, that you need to deal with in the 2 weeks that follow the full moon, that may involve a friend or somebody you thought was a friend, but hey, Neptune is about illusion, delusion, and full moon shines a light on that person. And some of you Tauruses may go, oh, that person is not my friend. And maybe, you know, you borrowed money from them or they borrowed money from you, and now you're realizing it's more complicated than you think, or, you know, that you said you lent them your possession and now they don't want to return it. There's weird things like that going on here in the aftermath of the 2 weeks after the full moon of September 10th. Mercury is going to retrograde in the month of September, and he does this between the 10th and the October 2nd timeframe, 10th of September to October 2nd, and he will station in Libra at 8 degrees on September 10th. Now, Mercury retrograding in Libra for you has a lot to do with debts and money you may owe and situations in your work and collegiate space, as well as health. Mercury retrograding is going to go back over old ground regarding debts, health, workspace stuff, colleagues, co-worker space. He's going to go, or employees or employers, you know, if you're an employer, it's your employee and vice versa. So he's going to go back over some old ground, retrograding here till about the 23rd. And then he slides into your Virgo house, which is your romance and children house. And you may be paying attention September 23rd to October 2nd with children, romance, business enterprise endeavors, and shoring up those details with a strong Mercury in Virgo supporting you there. But before he does that, while he's moving through Libra, legal contracts, Libra, agreements, partnerships, Mercury, marketing, merchandise, and legal affairs and contracts as well. Negotiations are going on here. I feel like it's something new, it's something you've been dealing with already, and you're straightening or ironing it out, Taurus. Okay. And so you're ironing out some kind of details in that sixth house area of your life. And if you've been dealing with a health challenge, then Mercury's going to go back in time backwards in order to collect some fuel from Virgo so that on October 2nd onward, you can recover from that health challenge. So you have to go back to go forward. So for some of you, Taurus, is that what this is what that might be about, going backwards in order to move forward. So just be patient with that. It's like he wants to go back and get some vitality juice for you between September 23rd and October 2nd, and then spew forward into momentum to really help you with some health challenge and get really good results in that after October 2nd onward. So moving forward, then we're talking next about the sun is trining Uranus. Oh, we did that. We talked about that with your Venus ruler. I apologize. But Venus, your ruler, okay, will square Mars. So the goddess of love and money will square the god of war and new directions. And this is going to be a Venus in Virgo, where she is moving, as we mentioned already, in your house of children and romance. And she is in a square to Mars, the god of sexuality, passion, new directions, and conflict and war. And Mars is moving through your Gemini second house. Now, this could be a verbal disagreement with a lover, a beloved, a love partner, or with one of your children. This can also be hot, sexy sparks are flying, but they're all very verbal, right? This could be like phone sex, text sex, I don't know, something like that. Because, you know, the house of speech is where Mars is, and there's sparks can fly in a square between Venus and Mars. It can be quite sexually hot, basically. The other thing I would say is that watch out for females, women in your fifth house. These could be children or employees if you have your own business, I guess, but who could be giving you some difficulty regarding the way you're spending your money, the way you're earning your money, the way you're moving your money around. And so you might have a conflict with that person on the 16th and 17th of September when this happens, when the square between Venus and Mars occurs. And really at the same time, the sun is opposing Neptune. So the sun will be sitting in the sign of Virgo and opposing Neptune in your 11th house. So you may be feeling disillusioned regarding some relationship or some sexual relationship or a friendship. And you may be feeling disheartened about maybe some part of a friendship that you're seeing more clearly, and the sun is allowing it, shining light on what's more true here for you and bringing some clarity around an delusion around a friendship. I think it's more about a friendship where that Neptune is, you know, that you may have seen somebody that you thought was a friend through rose-colored glasses, and now you're seeing them more clearly on the 16th and 17th of the month. Mercury goes into the heart of the sun. Did I talk about that? Kazimi, I can't remember now. I'm all over the map. On the world axis at 0 Libra. Since you are ruled by Venus and Venus owns that Libra sky, it's pretty significant for you. Libra is your debt house. Remember, we talked about that. So I think that you may be having during that kazimi on the 23rd of September, some blinding clarity about how to remove a debt, some blinding clarity about a colleague or coworker, blinding clarity about your own self-undoing and self-defeating strategies and habits. With Jupiter across the way, it has more luck than not. It's a lucky blinding clarity that really reveals something important that may have been hidden from your view about your own self-undoing. And with a square to Cupido, this is a square to Cupido, the god of passion and ardor, in the house of mentors, guides, spiritual guides, religion, faith, and foreign lands and legal affairs and courts especially. So this could be some kind of real aha moment around how to resolve a legal thing, how to move forward in a passionate direction for foreign land travel. So some of you, Tauruses, may be plotting a trip. Aha, I want to go to, you know, the Grand Cayman Islands or something on September 26th. And that kazimi is going to be a short day event, right? These are around 2 a.m. in the morning Eastern time on the, did I say the date of the kazimi? On the 23rd, I believe. I should know that, right? I should check my kazimi chart. Give me 30 seconds. Mercury kazimi, what is your date of kazimi? Where's my chart? So here, I think it was, the 23rd. So keep that in mind. Now, let's keep rolling into the next story, which is the last story for you. I think we're going to end this with this one. Venus, the two stories at the very end of the month. Venus, your ruler, will conjunct Mercury Okay, obviously in Virgo, we've been talking about she's been going through Virgo. She's in her joy there in your fifth house. This is some kind of information or news on September 26th. Oh, the kazimi was on the 23rd. I apologize, all that kazimi talk. But on the 26th of September, some kind of positive, exciting news about money and finances coming through for you. Yay, you, trining Pluto, the god of wealth. So just jump for joy. It's a big financial bonus points on the game board of life. And if it involves anything legal, it squares away in your favor. And you finish strong with a Mars trine Saturn at the end of the month. Mars, yes, moving through the house of your money and your earnings and your possessions, trining Saturn. Saturn, the god of stability, in the house of reputation and career. It's almost like if you have a reputation issue, it corrects. If you have a career momentum direction around establishing something of value and legacy in your career and having the ambition and drive to achieve what your goals are, September 26th to the end of the month are yay you. You'll start to even feel that momentum as early as the 23rd. Thank you, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, for listening to your sign for the month of September. Guess what? If you're into healing your body, you've got Sun and Venus in the sign of Virgo, sign of healing. I had a massively amazing healing with my sister who does Reiki master and a pendulum healing wizard, and it totally healed a tailbone sciatic issue that was plaguing me for like weeks, and I'm now walking and swimming and moving normally. So she's so talented. She has so many great reviews of these kind of incredible turnarounds for people's well-being. So if you're interested in that, check my description box for Healing with Nancy Lynch, who's my biological sister, and think you'll really enjoy a session with her. Her sale, back to school sale, is on during the month of September, and the readings are at a nice discount for that month. I shouldn't say readings, the healing sessions, which she does remotely. Alrighty. Thanks, guys, for listening. Ciao, ciao.